I had an idea to use an embossing folder and some ink to create a stylized card that can be used for any occasion. Join me for my creative day as we make this embossed and inked card.
For your supplies today, you're going to need a few sheets of colored cardstock. Now I've already cut my pieces down to size at 4¼ by 5½ inches. I have gray as my base, blue for my embossing layer, light blue for my greeting and the words, and then black for the shadow to my greeting. I have picked a polka dotted embossing folder and then 2 dies for my greeting. Looking at my embossing folder, you will have one side with raised bumps and one side where they're recessed. Now it doesn't matter how you load your paper, just make sure that it's even with the top and the bottom. Since this is a linear pattern, you want to make sure that they look straight. Then send it through your embossing machine. So although the polka dots look fine, I want to make them stand out more. So I'm taking some dark ink and my ink dauber, and I'm just going to lightly rub the polka dots. What this is doing is it's just layering a darker shade on each raised dot, which accentuates the embossing. Now stay to the end of the video and I'll show you another option using a light color to highlight the dots. With the ink, just keep adding it until you get it the way that you want it to look. And don't worry if the ink gets on the background paper, because the pattern is so busy, this won't be noticed in the finished card. Now I'm using the same color ink that I used on the embossing folder, and I'm going to add some shading to the corners of this paper that I'm going to use for the greeting layer. I'm adding most of the color in the corners, but I'm also dragging the colors down the length of the paper so that it blends well. The greeting I have for this card is the Happy Birthday die set, and that will give me the words and a shadow for each word. I'm using my new magnetic Sizzix plate, and this makes it so much easier because I don't have to now tape down the dies. I can just put them on top of the paper and send them right through the cutting machines. I'm cutting the words the same color that I used for the greeting base, and then the shadow I'm using a shimmery black. And I think that'll really make the light happy birthday words pop. And this is the perfect time to remind you to hit that like and subscribe button for this video. Now let's start assembling the card. I'm putting tape along the edges and across the middle of the embossed sheet that I did, and I'm adding that to the gray base. Next, I'm going to add tape to the greeting banner that I inked the edges of, and I'm putting that across the bottom of the card so that the sides line up with the dark blue embossed paper. And now for the happy birthday. I can't tape this because the happy birthday lettering is so small, so I'm just going to hold it with my tweezers and add a little bit of craft glue to it. Now, when adding the dot to the I in birthday, it's such a tiny piece. I didn't remove this dot from the cutout paper. Instead, I'm adding glue to it while it's still attached. And then I'm going to line up the word birthday and press down on that dot to release it from the cutout paper and glue it in place. And now it's exactly where it was meant to be. Now this card is very neutral, so you can swap out words you want, from happy birthday to celebrate to just saying hello. The idea and options are endless with this card. You can do a dark ink over the embossing or a light ink like I did here. You can trade out colors and make it a Valentine's card. To make this a grunge-looking card, you can actually drag an ink pad across the raised panels. And there, you don't worry about what gets on the background. It's part of the look. Give inking an embossed card a try next time you bring out your embossing folders and see how it really changes your images. I hope you liked the tips and tricks I provided in this video, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and I'll keep sharing my creative days with you. And that's all till our next creative day.